Hello, Lucas here. I'm going to walk you through my Excel spreadsheet that I created for the Maths CA. So I should explain how I created some of the motions using graphs. So how do you create a straight line motion? If I scroll down to my straight line motion, basically an equation of a line is mx plus c. So y equals mx plus c. If I replace x by time, so it's mx time plus c, so mt plus c, and if I apply that to my points, so this is my x, it's 2 minus t divided by 2, and y equals 4t. If both of these equations are equations of a straight line, I get a straight line motion. So I can just demonstrate this really fast here. I start at point 2, 0, and I just go nicely over the time, and it creates a straight line motion. Next, how do I create a wave type motion? So wave type motion is sine or cosine over time. So as you can see an example here, I go from time 0 to time 360. It could be in seconds or whatever, minutes, hours, doesn't really matter. Then I have my point x, which is going time plus 1, so x is moving as the time is going. And then I have my 5 sine of t plus 1, so this is oscillating between 6 and minus 4. So I can demonstrate how it is created as well if I click on the graph. And as you can see, my x point is moving as the time goes, and my y point is oscillating between 6 and minus 4. So it goes one time. Now I should explain how do I create a circular motion. So circular motion is sine and cosine over time. So one is there is a circular motion. So for example, this one, I have 2 sine of t and 2 cosine of t. I could mention that they have to be same, because if you have a I can show example later. If you have 3 sine and 2 sine, it will create an ellipse type motion. So this is 2 sine and 2 cosine. So I can just click and demonstrate this one as well. As the time goes, my points are moving, and it's creating a circle. And it took 360 again seconds or minutes, whatever the time is, to create the circle. Another thing is if I have 3 times t, so this means that I created 3 circles in the time that it would take to create one circle. So for example, I have a 360 again, but this time it's a 3 times t. So if I go from the beginning, I start, and as you can see, I will create the first circle, and then you cannot really see the movement, but you can see a little bit how it goes around again. So this will create basically 3 circles in the time. I should explain how do I control the radius of the circle. So I control radius by whatever I multiply sine by and cosine. They have to be the same, because as I mentioned before, if one is smaller and second is bigger, it will create an ellipse, and I have an example of ellipse down here. So I have 2 sine of 2t and 1 cosine of 2t. So as you can see, 2 sine gives me from -2 to 2, but the cosine gives me from 1 to -1. So this will create an ellipse. So that's how I control the radius, is I multiply sine or cosine by a scalar basically. So if I have a radius, if I want the radius to, I multiply it by 2. How do I control the center or origin? I add the number behind the my equation. So if I want the origin to be +3 and -3, as I have in this example, as you can see, this will create a circle with the origin point to be, or center, how I control the center, a center point to be at -3 and +3. As you can see, -3 is here and +3 is here, so this will create a circle down here. And then how do I control the speed? I think I said that in here. So if I multiply the time by the speed I want, so if I want 3 times the speed, I multiply time by 3. This will create 3 circles in the time that it would create normally 1 circle. And what is the starting point of my motion? So the starting point of my motion, it could be, it is depending what I use for my x and my y position. So for example, if I have a x as a sign, that means that at the time 0 it starts at 0, or 2 sign. So at x0 it starts at 0, and if I have my y point to be cosine or 2 cosine, at x0 it starts at 1 or 2, depending. If I want to swap the points, I just swap the sine and a cosine. So I think so I covered everything. So thank you very much for your attention. Bye.